Great. I think we'll go ahead and start. Redak, if you can just confirm that you can hear me well.
Yes, I confirm. Can you hear me well?
Great, thank you. Good morning. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you all gathered up today for this interesting presentation and demonstration on the social listening and analytics. My name is Minosh Salam, and I head DataQraft as the Director of Business and Strategy. The magnitude of conversational data that is generated every second is enormous. Navigating through social media conversations and deriving valuable consumer insights out of it becomes the biggest challenge for most marketing teams. As brands maneuver through a whirlpool of consumer data, it is social media and analytics that comes to the rescue. Now, some of the interesting stats, you must have seen or heard this before. 90% of millennials are active users of social media. Now, that is closely followed by 77% of the Gen X and 48% of the baby boomers. So in short, 50% of the world's population uses social media. So that's a very, very powerful media of communication for people and for organizations, which also means that a person spends 2 hours and 22 minutes on social media. Mind you, that's just social media. That's not the mobile phones you're using. It is just social media. Now, from deciding what brand of diapers one should buy, or to join a fitness center, or to buying a new car, we all tend to gravitate towards social media for reviews and recommendations. I'm not going to bore you with more stats, but the point is we need to continuously monitor what is being said about your brand and share the right content at the right time to ensure consumers have a positive experience. By leveraging social media analytics platforms like Talkwalker, which we're going to present today, brands can now scan through large volumes of conversational data to derive key consumer insights that directly impact some of your business metrics. So this is the agenda today. What we're going to do is, after I take you through a quick introduction of DataQraft, we'll go through an overview of social listening and analytics from analytics platform Talkwalker. Then we'll take you through a live demonstration of the application itself. And that is the most interesting part of the morning today. Here you will watch how Talkwalker uses its platform to uncover, analyze, and derive most valuable insights from social, online, and conversational data. You can also see live on what customers really think about your brands and products in real time. I just want to make sure that everyone can see my screen and hear me well. So some show of hands probably could help. We have kept all muted. So we don't have any interruptions. We'll definitely entertain questions, and you can post them on the Q&A session, which you would find on the top left corner. You can see a Q&A with a question mark just below, right on top. We also have some polls during our presentation and demo, which Reda, my colleague Reda, would be posting up, and you could participate. That's again on the left top corner. And lastly, I encourage you to go through the go to full screen. So especially when you get to the demo section, you can have the clarity you require. Now, on the right bottom, some of you may see a black screen. That is typically for a video. There is a button at the bottom of it. You can just close that because there's no videos being shown. We're just using the presentation. With which I would like to take you through a little introduction of DataQraft as an organization. So at DataQraft, we are attempting to bring in best-in-class data and advanced analytics platforms and solutions to help organizations derive better and brighter insights from varied and complex data sources. We've been doing this for the last 5 years. We've got over 100 projects. We are based out of Dubai, but we cover quite a bit of the region around. We are there in 6 cities across 3 countries, and we have got a team of 50 professionals behind and in front of the scene. We are also part of a larger group called Square One Technologies. We also have other associations and sister concerns, as you see them on the screen: Ensan, Square One Insights, and Infoscape. A little more detail as to what we do. I won't take much of your time. If you can just go to the next screen. So we primarily help organizations manage the full data and analytics lifecycle. So the expertise which we have is in the areas of data engineering and data science. So primarily data integration, data storage, migration, management, business intelligence analytics, and we eventually harness the power of machine learning and AI. Now we do this by delivering solutions through multiple platforms, either productized services or frameworks or reusable models that offer faster time to value for our customers. So today we are demonstrating one of the many platforms which could be very crucial for most marketing departments. As you can see on the right side, as marketeers, you may have many KPIs or many things to measure, whether it's customer acquisition cost, churn product prediction, price optimization, so on. But for the scope of today, we are just going to talk about social media analytics. We also have some of my other colleagues who have helped us tremendously in hosting this webinar today. I have my colleagues Igor and Ivana from Talkwalker. I also have my colleagues from DataQraft who have helped us host this event today. I have Riddhi, Aina, Alan, Anil, and Nidal, and I'm sure some of them have been in touch with you personally. And we've got attendees from around the region: UAE, Qatar, Saudi, Kuwait, Jordan, and a couple of people from India and Pakistan. And finally, I would like to thank all of you as participants who have taken your time off from the busy morning and to join us. That's it from my side, and I would like to now bring in Reda Bebar from Talkwalker to continue with the rest of the presentation and demonstration. I actually wanted to invite Reda, but then he said he's got his own way of presenting himself. So Reda, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. My name is Reda Bevers, and today I'll be introducing Talkwalker for you. And we're going to do a live demonstration for you to see what you can achieve for your brands and topics. Of course, as we all know, like everything is internet is going really fast, and every minute we see like millions and millions of data posted by people and by customers. And we are very confident that Talkwalker is the right tool to capture all of these information that are relevant to you, to your brand, and to your topic. So I'm going to share a quick introduction about the company, who's Talkwalker, what we do, and how we do it. Today, Talkwalker is positioned as the leader in the conversational intelligence space. The company was founded back in 2009 by 2 Luxembourgish guys. Today, we are a team of 350 experts across 6 offices. I'm representing the headquarters in Luxembourg. 1/3 of our team are engineers and data scientists, and this shows our commitment to innovation. So once you become a Talkwalker client, you will always be on the edge of anything that's benefiting your online listening project. On the right-hand side, we can see a glimpse of our global client portfolio. Each one of them has its own unique use case, and our client portfolio exceeded 2,000 brand and logos. We're specialized in 3 main pillars: protect, measure, and promote. This is what you can achieve by using Talkwalker. In the next slides, I'll be breaking down these use cases for you to better understand what you can do with our tool. And we've been recognized by Forrester, Gartner, and Martech as the leaders in the industry and strong performance. This is our framework. As you can see, it's divided into 3 main pillars: protect, measure, and promote. From a protect part, you can do issue tracking, reputation management, crisis management. The measurement layer is about collecting everything coming from PR sources and social. And from the promote part is about identifying influencers, conducting competitive intelligence, getting consumer insight, and so on. In order for me to demonstrate a relevant use case for you, can you just type in out of these letters or numbers what are the key areas of interest for you so I can make sure to demonstrate it in the demo? I think you can do this from the Q&A part. Just write any letter or any number, and we will make sure to demonstrate this in the tool. This slide is summarizing our coverage somehow. Of course, it's challenging when we have a lot of data that comes around the brand and topic. It's important to have one single source of truth for all of these monitoring. So Talkwalker by default is an online and social media analytics provider, and we integrate offline media with our partners as well. LexisNexis for prints, TVIs for radio and broadcast. You can also, we offer the possibility of inputting your own data set. So for example, you would like to analyze correlations between a specific marketing campaign or communication effort or influencer marketing activity and how affected the bottom line of the business. Maybe it can be sales figures, it can be Google Analytics and so on. So we can do this with our tool. And just to make it fast and go to the most interesting part, we will move to the demo and show you the tool in action. So here, as you can see, this is the landing page of Talkwalker. It's divided into 5 main modules: settings, IQ apps, dashboards, analytics, reports and alerts. Of course, everything is started from the topic setup. In this case, we are demonstrating Coca-Cola Global, just because it's a popular brand and it can be interesting to see what kind of information we can pull for this brand. IQ apps is a predefined dashboard area that has been made to give you instant access for specific business need. The dashboards area is where you customize your use cases and get instant access for them. Basically, you can, what makes us unique here, that the personalization and the flexibility, so you can add as many topics and as many dashboards as you need. Analytics is the core of the platform, where you can start building your dashboard and reports according to that. Reports and alerts, where you can leverage the automation of the tool. So once you create your report or the alert, you'll always be up to date with your topic automatically, no need for manual input after you do this. So let's have a quick look to the protect layer and see reputation management, for instance. So in 2 clicks, we'll be able to see the following. Here, of course, you can conduct it day over day, week over week, month over month, and so on. So here we can see from a brand performance point of view, we can see how many mentions they came this month, and this arrow represents the evolution rate. So we'll be able to understand the evolution of your topics. If it's a positive thing or a negative thing, you can keep an eye on it and see exactly how it evolves by time. So we can see in this month, 4.5 million mentions for Coca-Cola, in which here coming like 163,000, social mention 3.2, etc. So you can be able to find all of these KPIs. And from a market impact point of view, you'll be able to see the volume by competition. You can conduct that. So we are comparing Coca-Cola company with Pepsi company and Dr. Pepper, for example. It's worth mentioning that our tool is highly interactive. So if you are interested into finding a specific thing, you can simply hover over it and click on it, and the system will drill down the results for you in real time to see exactly more about the insights. We can compare headlines in tier 1 and tier 2. We can add source panels and so on. Engagement, it would be accessible as well from a media coverage point of view. Media amplifications, channels that are driving engagements. How's your YouTube performing versus Twitter, Instagram, and so on. Issue tracking, because customers are sharing their opinion often now online. So it's important to understand what are the main things that people are communicating about. So of course, Coca-Cola, there's a lot of conversation that happens around it, some coming about ingredients, something about their campaigns and advertising efforts, something about their financial performance and stock market management, etc. So here, our tool is capable to understand and classify these data based on your business needs. And as we said, if you are interested, for example, to understand what's coming about the campaigns, we simply click on it and the system will drill down the results in real time to make it accessible for you. These flags represent the sentiment behind the thing. So you can see like here, there's a debate that this flagged as red. For anything that goes viral, we'll be able to conduct virality maps. So if I click on this one, the system will show me like the key dates and time for this piece of content and why it became viral and how many media types it crossed. So we see this started as an online news, and then people start sharing it on Facebook, Twitter, newspaper, and so on. And again, let's highlight the interactivity of the tool. So if we hover over this one, we would like to see the newspaper part. We see maybe this one. So we'll be able to understand, like, for example, this coming from a blog in Kenya and so on. We can change this to see the countries. So we see this started in Kenya and went all the way to Panama, UK, US, Australia, and so on. Here, of course, due to the time limitation, we will try to demonstrate as much as we can and leave some space for Q&A. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask, and we'll be happy to assist you on this. Besides that, we will be able to understand what are the emerging issues and the themes around your topic. So here, for example, we can see these kind of keywords. No need to speak about them one by one, but you can see the evolution of the topics. So you can keep an eye on it, and this will allow you to protect the brand, basically. Here are the key messages mentioned across tier 1 publications. Of course, tier 1 can be identified by you, and we do have a source panel to achieve all of that. And of course, if you are anyone who's interested in getting a personalized environment, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be happy to do this for you. So that was a very quick glimpse from this Protect Live. So we can move back and see, like here, we can see top management performance, influencers, and so on. So if we go back to the dashboards, and let's see the major part, and see the social measurement, for instance. Okay, so this is the brand performance and the previous period that we see here. We are selecting 3 months. So we see the mentions versus all of that. Here we can see like the media spends. We spoke about the correlation. So you would like to understand how your media spends are affecting the whole visibility of the brand. Of course, this is a mock-up data. It's not an accurate one, but you can imagine your data sets here. So you can see like if there's a match between a specific effort and if it's caused a spike or something like that. So we see the highest point of conversation from an earned media point of view was on the 22nd of June. We would like to know more. We simply click on the spike. And the system again should drill down the results for us to see why this day is the key day for the brand. So we can see in CNBC now they did something about Coca-Cola for such a day where there's a huge volume of conversation. Of course, reviewing all of the results manually would take a lot of time, so it won't be that efficient. So we can simply go to the themes. And here the system will aggregate all the findings and analyze what are the most associated keywords within this day. Of course, due to the language differences, such as Arabic or something like that, we enable like extension of the words. So we can do 2 words, 3 words, even phrases level, just to get more insights. So for example, if I get 2 words, we'll see like we'll get more insights, obviously, because instead of advertising, we will understand that it's advertising policies instead. So we can change this into sentiment colors as well to see what are the words, like the sentiment behind each sentence or each keyword. So you can see this is a massive negativity coming on that particular day. We can change the themes into hashtags to see if there's any campaigns, either owned and earned campaigns, and make sure that you're on top of anything related to your brand. So we can see like all of these kind of sensitive hashtags around the topic. You can change these and understand the celebrities that are mentioned in the period as well and the day. And you can also cross brands as well. So you can see like who are we can see LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, Mark Zuckerberg, etc. We can find them all. And for example, you are interested in why Katy Perry is involved with Coca-Cola. So we click on it. At this stage, there is no predictivity. It's all about aggregation and enrichment. So we will see like, okay, there was an article that mentioned both names basically here and has the Coca-Cola Coke Studio basically, which is related to the brand. Okay. If we scroll down, all of this is personalized, by the way. So you can simply, we can create it the way you need, depends on your business case, basically. On media versus earned media, on channel performance. Of course, for a lot of companies, they run many on channels. It can be per product or per region or per language. So of course you can find them all and put them in one dashboard for you to get a holistic overview on your channel performance. Content performance, of course, this is very important, as we all know. There's a lot of content out there, and we as audience, by the end of the day, we really expect companies to provide us with really engaging content and useful content. So with the listening tool, you will definitely be able to understand what's the best performing content, and you can identify your hero content, and based on it, you can adapt your content strategy based on that. Of course, the importance of knowing your audience is something too obvious. So in this case, with our tool, you will be able to understand what their profession, what their background, where are they, what their age group, gender split, their interests, and so on. And based on that, of course, you can adapt all your communication efforts based on it. Sentiment analysis, we spoke about it as well. Global coverage. And here we can see distribution on the world map. Where this conversation coming from. US, France, India, and so on. And key messages. Okay, so maybe I can switch for another dashboard now. Let's see competitive intelligence. Of course, like we hear often, based on our experience, our clients are really focused on competition. It's important to be on top of your industry and market and see how your key competitors are performing, and you can compare yourself doing a benchmark between your activity and their activity. So here we can see it's an aggregation in a daily basis. You can see the share of voice per day, and you can see the spikes, and we can, as we said, we can simply click on it. So this is a massive day for Pepsi, 334,000 mentioned in one day. It's a massive one. Here, for example, this is interesting. Here we can see that there's no Pepsi. If we translate this one, we can see like this is coming from Japan, but has no Pepsi in it. But why I can see it here? Here we can mention that Talkwalker is the only company that owns the logo recognition technology. So in real time, we'll be able to find your hidden mentions, which means the system will be able to capture your logo, as you can see. So this, of course, there's so many use cases that you can benefit from such a technology. You can protect your brand to make sure that no one is using your logo in an unauthorized way. And you can build an engagement in case of any piece of content that goes viral. So here, of course, for anyone who's interested, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll make sure to demonstrate the value of all of these technologies from Talkwalker. So we can see the sentiment here. Again, we are in the competitive intelligence. We can compare the share of voice and the market impact, sentiment analysis for each, media coverage for each, top themes. You can compare what's trending for you, what's trending for other brands. And for example, for a market such as UAE, of course, it's one of the most international countries around the world, where there's hundreds of nationalities in the same country. So we can expect results that coming from different languages, right? So here we can see something coming from like Thailand or all other languages. What we can do here is to to translate the whole aggregation into the language of your choice. So maybe it can be English. So if I click on it, the system will, of course, we get an API with Google Translate, so we can translate this for you to understand exactly what does it mean for each mention. It's worth mentioning every little thing that we saw, we can add it to a report in one click, and we can export it into source files, and we can even, if you would like to process your data and you have your own data pool, you can do it XML or JSON. Okay, these are the top things that we said. Issue spotlight. You can compare like a company by company, like who's talking about ingredients more, what about the financial performance, and so on. This one represents the share of voice from a competitive intelligence point of view. So you can see, for example, in South Korea, Pepsi obviously is dominating the share of voice. In the US, it's kind of 50-50. And here it depends on the location service, the location settings of the author. It's going to be like, we can zoom in up to a street level. So if we go to the Middle East, to GCC in specific, let's go to Saudi. So we can see the distribution around the country. And this can be interesting. It really depends on the use case and the brand we are talking about, but we can understand exactly which part of the country is talking about a specific topic. And of course, this can allow better targeting from an offline and online point of view as well. All right. So this is another thing. What we can do maybe from a promote part, let's do consumer insights. Of course, consumer insights is a challenging thing. And in today's world, whoever who spot the right insight at the right time, they can definitely take an advantage, a competitive advantage of that. So here we see consumer insights. Let's wait for it a little bit. Customer journey as well. It's worth mentioning this one. For example, if we talk about e-commerce, or we talk about retail, or we talk about traveling, or anything, you know, each journey has its own steps. So you can analyze exactly from an awareness level, from a consideration level, from an acquisition level, how your customers are perceiving each touch point. So if you just wait for the tool to refresh. I apologize maybe if the tool is a bit slow, it's because I'm doing this webinar from home, and as you can imagine, it can be a bit challenging sometimes to get a strong network. I'm gonna refresh this again.
Meanwhile, if there are any question and answers, you can go to the Q&A section and post them there. We'll take up the questions at the end of the session.
Yes, please do that. Thanks for this. So here, yes, let's see, like as we said, we're in the customer journey level. So we see the awareness point of view. So what do we mean by awareness? Like it's about someone is thinking about their brand or suggesting the brand or considering the brand based on NLP and keywords. Of course, we'll be able to classify this for you. Then we can move to another customer journey step, which is intention to buy. So someone, for example, saying I'm going to buy Coca-Cola, or someone I'm planning to buy, and these kind of things, they will be accessible. So imagine this would definitely, because based on our experience, we hear our client, they're conducting most of these tasks manually, and actually it can be really challenging when it comes to accuracy and insights, right? So imagine if you can automate all of these. So for you to get a dashboard that will allow you to, it's going to be absolutely a strong asset for you to base your strategy based on insights and real data. And here you can see the purchase and then the after purchase. So you can analyze every single little thing related to your customer journey, basically. The product as well, you can see the share of product. So we can see Coca-Cola regular, like the famous red can, is contributing to almost 97%, like 98% of the brand visibility, followed by Coca-Cola Light, Coca-Cola Zero, Coca-Cola Cherry, and so on. So think about your brand, think about your product range. We will be able to classify this for you to understand what is your top performing product and what's the least visible product. So you can adapt your marketing activities based on that. All right, so this was another quick thing that I wanted to show you. And again, guys, please feel free, we're gonna reach out to you after the call. And please feel free to let us know if you are interested in a personalized demonstration, and we'll be more than happy to do so. So here we see some questions. Do you think we can answer some questions now, or should we still like do some stuff about the tool itself?
No, I think we can go ahead with the tool.
Okay.
Thank you.
No worries. We can like do another 10 minutes of the tool and then we answer all the questions. So guys, please feel free to write as many questions as you need, and we'll be happy to answer each one of them. So let's go again because here we saw that the major part is interesting for the guys. Let's see. So we did social measurement. Let's see PR measurement. So PR management, of course, like it's understanding what's coming from PR sources. It can be like blogs, forums, news, and so on. So we see how many mentions, new mentions, social mentions, extensive mentions, and so on. So maybe meanwhile we are loading, we can answer some questions. We hear like, is there a possibility to do campaign comparison with respect to positive and negative comments with respect to social media platform? Definitely. you'll be able to select your desired media type and conduct a sentiment analysis on it, and you can compare it with your competition as well. We can definitely do that. I think we can show you exactly how it works from the tool itself. So here we can see Coca-Cola's social mentions of Coca-Cola. You can understand, you see like the correlation between the PR and the social. So whenever there's something coming from the PR point of view, you see people are engaging with it on a social level. These are the global coverage from a heat map point of view. These are the key messages related to the company: CSR initiative, global positioning, innovation, choice, convenience, refreshing, largest beverage company. These are the key messages that are communicated in a PR point of view by Coca-Cola. And of course, the communication teams, they can compare their own communication with the earned one, of course, and they can understand the effectiveness of them. Mentions in headline versus tier one. Content performance, media amplification. So it's really like there's endless possibilities of things that we can achieve from a listening tool. And from my side, again, I'm just trying to show as much as I can in the given time, and we can personalize it. It's really worth considering that this something is very personalized. We can adapt it based on your needs. Okay, here we can compare engagement, the channels that are driving this engagement, and here the business impacts, and no need to go back to the customer journey because we already spoke about it. The website impact. Here, whenever you can, as we said, you can integrate your own, add your own data sets and see correlations on that. And of course, this a better understanding for ROI. Also for advertising media, advertising value equivalent, these are something definitely can be useful because these are the challenges, one of the main challenges for marketeers today, just to prove that all the money we spend is really driving bottom line value for the business. Community impact for CSR people and PR professionals. Influencers who's driving the conversation from an engagement point of view and from an activity point of view. So here we can see like these are the sources that driving the highest level of engagement. Globo.com with one single post generated 500,000 engagement, but maybe you can be interested in who's the most active one. So who talks about your topic the most. So you can see like this Parinama.org wrote 1,500 times about your topic. So about Coca-Cola, So this definitely, there's something like this worth checking out this website, for example. Here we can see the sentiment per post. So you can see this one post, obviously it's a negative one, and so on. Industry trends. Yeah, billions spent on ads encouraging minority youth to drink unhealthy sugar. So yeah, it's really about like being on top of everything related to your brand. So you can protect it, you can measure the performance of it, and you can promote it. Let's go to the analytics side. So as we said, this is the landing page of the tool. This is the predefined dashboard that has been made for two types of users. Users with limited time, that they don't have a lot of time to go deep into the analytics, and for people with low digital maturity. So in one click, they will be able to see many things, obviously. Let's go to the analytics for you to see what is the core, how does it look like. So on the left-hand side, you can see the topics. You can add as many as you need. Here you see about like Coca-Cola topics, brands, competition, slogans, top management members, CSR initiatives, hashtags, brand ambassadors, and so on. So it's really flexible. It's like you can centralize all your media monitoring activity in one tool only. And for any topic of your choice, we will be able to see the following. Results, which is the interactive graph that shows the peaks of each selected period. These are the top results based on engagement. You can change this, of course, into potential reach, trending score, published, found, and so on. Then we move to performance. Performance will allow us to see the total of mentions and the engagement caused by these mentions, and you can compare engagement over time and potential reach per impression. This is not per unique user. This is per impression. And the engagement split between like, okay, so there's a lot of, we said that there's 23,000 engagement, and this is split it into Twitter likes, Facebook likes, so you can understand each one of them. All right. Then I can move to influencers again, as we said, to identify who are the most active authors and who are the most engaging authors, both from individual levels and from site level. In 6 minutes, guys, we're going to start the Q&A, and we'll be happy to answer all your questions. So here we can see the most active author would be not McDonald's. This is trying to be McDonald's, but you can sort this out. So you can see this account 31 times and with low engagement, but you can understand that this is a negative account that's trying to drive like a negative sentiment toward the brand. So you'd like to see this post, you simply click on them and the system will drill down these results for you to see exactly how it works. So unique author, there's 1,000 unique authors. We're talking about Coca-Cola combo meals, by the way. It's not about Coca-Cola, the whole thing. Unique sites, average mentions per author, average mention per site, and so on. This list can be extended up to 100. And again, we can add it to a report or we can export it in source file. Sentiment. Sentiment, of course, it will allow us to see negative versus positive and what's neutral. You can see the tops and drops of the sentiment over time. Sentiment key driver, this can be interesting. Let me translate it first into English. So with this widget, you'll be able to understand what's driving positive and negative sentiments towards your topic. So imagine if it's your product range, it can be on the right-hand side. You can see what are the things that people are happy with, and the other hand, people are not satisfied with. This is the emotions over time between joy, anger, sadness, surprise, and fear. Themes, we spoke about it, but we can do it quickly again. So it's interesting that comes from so many languages. Let's translate this again. We can change this into, let's see which brands are associated with the Coca-Cola combos. So see like the NBA, the NFL, the Burger King, McDonald's, and so on. So you can find them all. And whenever you would like to see like why Adidas is mentioned with Coca-Cola combo, you click on it. Again, the system will bring down this results for you and you can find them all. Okay. Demographics, of course, it's very important to understand the audience. Gender split, age group, top countries, top languages, top occupations, family status, top interest. And of course, like we understand the importance of Arabic capabilities. And with our AI engine, we can achieve up to 90% of sentiment accuracy. I know that Coca-Cola might be irrelevant for some of you, but of course, again, we really encourage you to reach out to us and for us to build a tailored demonstration for you. Visual insights as well, this can be interesting for you to see how you are positioned in a visual point of view online. Like whenever there's an article about you, what are the main thumbnails? Of course, you can see like top brands are these. This is the indoor-outdoor split. This is mainly for out-of-home advertising. The top scenes like store, restaurant, bedroom, park, etc. These are the top objects. Okay. What else we can do? Any input from you guys? Like, would you like me to highlight something specific?
Yeah. So I think Pankaj, thanks a lot for bringing up that question. Reda, I think we have another question. Probably a little bit of it you may have already answered. It's from Anish. He was asking, can I get insights on competition strategy? I believe we have covered some of that. But I think he also wants to look at, if I have got different marketing campaigns, how are they performing? Probably, I think that's what I have understood from his question. Is there anything which you would like to show or talk about it?
So I would say, like, first of all, you'll be able to understand, you'll be able to keep an eye on your competition and all of their activities. And of course, their activities is highly aligned with their strategy because they're implementing it online, right? So when you are when we give you access to exactly understand all the activities coming from your competitor, so by it's like you step into their strategy basically, and you can adapt yours based on them. So this is the way how we believe that you are able to understand the strategy of your competition. Because from PR level, you will be understand you will access their communication strategy. From their content level, you will access their content strategy, CSR as well. So for any topic of your choice, you can see exactly how they executing their strategy, and therefore you can access these kind of insights. You can, someone is asking for a demo license. Definitely, we will reach out to you guys by email after the call. Of course, please feel free to respond to us, and we'll be happy to get in touch with you one-to-one, and we build exactly the same environment of these, but tailored to your brand. Affiliate, how they are doing, definitely.
Yeah, just to add to that,
please, yes.
Yeah, just to add to that, yeah, more than a demo license, I mean, if some of your organizations would like to have a personalized and a customized demonstration, probably that would help you more because, we would do some research on how your brand is doing, how your competitor's brand is doing. We will collect some of the keywords from you, which could be relevant for your organizations. And we could then do a very customized, more relevant presentation for yourself than trying to figure out all yourself. So, feel free to reach out to us on that.
Yes, definitely. Do we have any other questions?
I think we are done.
Okay, what we can
Great.
do. So we can say quickly how to leverage social listening based on the quick demonstration that we did. First, of course, keep an eye on competition. It's really important. Of course, everyone knows the power of knowing what your competition are doing. With Talkwalker, of course, you will be able to understand every little thing that happens around your competition activity online. And of course, you can integrate offline activities too. So find out their share of voice per channel, per region, per market, per topic, and so on. You can identify their top themes. You can compare KPIs with your KPIs with their KPIs and all of this. Know as much as you can about your audience, of course. The more you know about your audience, the better your content will be, and the more engagement you'll be able to achieve with them. You know exactly what are they interested in, who are they, what do they do, and so on. All of this will be achievable within our tool. Base your content on insights. Of course, this is very important because we're living in a fast-moving world, and there's so many events around us. So if you get an access to an insight source such as Talkwalker Quick Search, you'll be able to really be on top of anything that's trending on your key market and understand exactly what can generate an engagement for your brand and topics. And of course, move from vanity metrics to business metrics. Think we advise our clients to think beyond likes and shares and so on. Understand okay, these campaigns, the successful campaigns, how they affected my sales figures, how they affected my my website traffics, my newsletter subscription, and so on. So all of this would be definitely useful. And the Q&A here, we see if we aren't getting many mentioned, is it worth investing in Talkwalker? Actually, it really depends how many niches are we talking about and what's the industry we are talking about. And remember, your mentions can be limited, but your competition mentions can be higher than yours. So it really depends what are you trying to achieve, what's your strategy. And of course, if you reach out to us, we will share with you the best practice based on our experience, and we can tell you exactly how it works. But then sometimes remember, consumer insight, there's no need of massive volume when it comes to that. Sometimes the insight, you can find it in a specific, maybe two posts would be enough for you to generate an insight, So if you reach out to us, we can get a conversation and you share with us more about your brand. And we can, afterwards, we can, with full transparency, we can tell you if it's worth investing with Talkwalker or not. And it's worth mentioning as well, we have a customized packages. So it's really we have a basic package all the way to enterprise package. So there's no one single way of positioning the price when it comes to investment, and that's it, and so on. Sorry. If I'm getting many images, use the benchmark to start building share of voice. I don't really understand the images point of view. Images, maybe you mean mentions as well. But if this is the case, what we can do is, sorry, mentions. Okay, no problem. So again, I think it's the same answer for the one I shared before. So reach out to us and we talk more about, maybe your brand is not really mentioned, but you can access the whole industry topic. So you can leverage from it and start building engagement based on that.
Thanks, Joanna, for that question. Great. I think we have, no, we don't have any more questions. Reda, I have a question for you.
Please.
Now, organizations across have been investing in data analytics platforms, and these are very generic platforms like, a Click or a Tableau or a Power BI, and there are zillions of those. Why wouldn't organizations use those marketing tools to do some of this? Can they do it? Or I need something like Talkwalker?
Actually, of course, like it's good without saying that I'm gonna say positive things about our tool, but it's really the case when it comes to the user friendliness. Like I'm gonna talk about several aspects on this. The user friendliness of Talkwalker is really well known, and anyone can ask their colleagues in the industry. It's obvious that Talkwalker is a user-friendly tool. Beside that, it's really important to centralize your monitoring efforts and the BI efforts when it comes to the social analytics. So we can see a lot of tools out there, but they are really providing a specific part of the whole social listening world. With Talkwalker, you can centralize all of these activities, and you can do this. Sentiment analysis is something very strong for us as well. We achieve up to 90% of sentiment accuracy across complex languages, and this is an advantage. So I think this is just to name a few. This can be the key ones. We really strive for innovation. As we said, we are the only company that owns our image recognition technology. So it's really about technology rather than just an aggregator, if this makes sense. So the enrichment part of Talkwalker is quite strong, and we are happy to discuss this with our clients or anyone from this webinar and show them exactly the key differences between us and other similar service providers.
Great. I think we have just time for one more question. This is Anil, who has been asking more around analyzing voice data. We talked about text and images, but he's curious to see, how voice data can be analyzed. Do you have an answer for that?
Yeah, definitely. Voice to text is definitely is a strong objective on our roadmap by 2020. So this is something we are currently developing, and it's going to be very interesting. Of course, we see like podcasts is on the rise. We have a lot of podcasts and a lot of mentions coming from that. So definitely it's in our roadmap, and it will be soon to be launched with Talkwalker. And it's worth mentioning, in a quarter basis, every 3 months we do releases. So often we always on top of on the edge of innovation when it comes to these kind of things. So today we don't offer it, but it's clearly on our roadmap and to be delivered soon.
Great. Do we have time for one more question, Reda?
Yeah. For me, I have time for as many questions as you need, to be honest.
Okay,
I'm really dedicating my time for this. So we have a question here for small and medium, please.
So from Joel and Sajan, we have one more question. I'm not too sure if I understood the question right, but I think it's similar to what Joanna had asked before, where for small organizations without a real e-commerce front, is the volume of data enough to go and start doing some of this analytics? So do you need a large volume of data? I think that was kind of answered in the previous query which Joanna had. Is there anything more you would like to add, Reda?
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning that it can be beyond your brand mentions. It can be your topic mention. It can be about your. You can understand your consumer. You can understand your competition and these kind of things. So it's not necessarily your brand, because you can be a B2B and your brand is not really mentioned online. However, your service is really highly mentioned online. Your competition are investing a lot in communication and this kind of thing. So there's really so many ways of benefiting from social listening, and the best way is just to reach out to us, when we'll be happy to have a discovery call with you and see if we can if we advise you to test our tool, at least to see how it can add value to your table.
Great. Yes, I think that's all we have today from our side. Reda, any closing note before I start wrapping up?
I would say, please feel free to reach out, and of course, never miss a conversation that are related to your brand, competition, and industry. And there's so many things that we can achieve together, and our client portfolio range really from every single industry. We have a client portfolio there, so for anyone who's interested, we can definitely find the right value for them, and we can demonstrate that. And of course, I would like to thank everyone for their time in joining this webinar.
Great. So yeah, never miss a conversation. I hope you didn't miss this conversation, which is hopefully pretty valuable. Thank you for taking your time off again of your busy schedules in the morning. I'm sure there are a lot of webinars out there. Hope this was interesting for you and for the marketing department and for the organization. Thanks for joining in. Thanks again to the entire team at Talkwalker and the teams from DataQraft. We are hoping to do more of this webinars in the future. We'll definitely reach out to you. If there is anything which was unanswered or not clarified in the session, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you again once and everyone. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.